everyone, welcome to the Pushing Culture Podcast. This is your host Ash. Sometimes we move through holidays like it's another race, rushing between plans, people, and expectations. And we forget to stop and breathe, to remember why we started running in the first place. For me, running has always been that place where I come back to myself. Through the chaos, the noise, the cold mornings, it grounds me. It reminds me that I can keep going, even when life feels heavy or messy. And maybe that's what this episode is about. Not miles, not times, not even goals, but gratitude. Being thankful for the runs that went right, the ones that didn't, the people who cheer for us, even those who don't get it but let us do our thing anyways. Val and Bobby are back for this one, the cool kids edition, Thanksgiving version. We talk about running through the madness of the season, family, food, finding balance, and why, even through all of it, we still lace up. Because no matter how far we go or how slow we move, we always end up grateful for the run. And in that note, please let me introduce our guest today. Here is Val and Bobby. Hey guys, welcome to see another episode of the Cool Kid edition. So this is the third time we're trying it. So I hope it works this time. So glad to have you guys back. And this is gonna be a very interesting conversation today.
I'm happy to
Sounds
be
good.
here.
Happy to hear you.
How are you guys? It's been a long time. We sat three of us together, and the last time we had some fun while doing this episode. So have you guys been?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just living normal life, mom with kids and trying to squeeze in running and the holidays are coming up and so life is crazy busy always, but always good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just as Val said, the busy season of life, I think, for a lot of people with fall into winter. So I've just been taking it a day at a time, still doing classes. So those will be coming to an end here in a couple weeks, which I'll be happy for a slight break. And then I think I get to do one more semester of classes before comprehensive exam and a dissertation.
Only
Oh
one
God,
more.
I cannot
Yeah,
believe it. Yeah,
What will you do with your
I'm doing
life?
this duets class,
right.
and
Maybe I'll run more. No, actually, I will be left
you,
for sports in spring, so don't worry, someone else will be filling my time. So it'll be two kids doing sports of some sort.
It gets busy.
it is hard. Yeah, busy and hard. It is, and I don't know how you do it. Like we were talking about doing studying and doing other things. Like you still have a daily streak going on. Kudos to you for managing it all, and you're smashing it.
Surviving, not thriving.
Sometimes
Wonder.
surviving is thriving.
That's true.
Yes, it is. And we were just talking about thing, and the holidays are coming, and then you had a sticker, so it's probably gonna be a little bit different for you than Val and me because you still have to keep going. And in your journey so far, so there has been countless holidays along the way. So has there been any funny moment or weirdest excuse that you have used to get in your run while you have been away on family time?
I'll go first. Everyone in the family's aware of my running craziness, so I don't typically need to have an excuse. They just know it has to happen at some point. I'll say that it wasn't part of this streak, but the last streak. I actually ran on the day my wife delivered our second child. Now, it was like a slight modification. She had a scheduled cesarean section, so like we knew when it was going to happen, but like after all that happened, I ran and I got a coffee from a local coffee shop and I brought it back for her. So that was like my run. It met the mile requirement. It was like a half mile away, so half mile there and back, but I would say that's probably my weirdest.
That's awesome. I same with me. I don't run every day, but I have found like in my running journey that as I have proven my consistency and my like desire and like just they know that I run, that it's not a surprise. So I don't really need to make excuses. It's more of just like with Bobby and like figuring out how it will work. So it's not so much of, oh, I need to go run because of this or that, and it's just, oh, you all know that I would like to get a run in. So when is going to be the best time that's going to work so that I can be there for my family when I need to, but then also I can get my run in, which weirdly, like, the more consistent you are and the more your family sees your dedication and your like desire, the more they, at least in my life, they like almost like they can understand it and they want to help me out. And so, like, sometimes it's tricky managing it all. And since I don't have that goal of running every day, sometimes running does just take a back seat. It's just juggling all the things, and that's part of life.
Have you guys have any family memories related to running during holidays where you have run and you both have kids, so have you gone running with the kids and stuff like that? Have they joined in some of the races during the holidays?
Want to go first?
I don't really. But we aren't really into the like turkey trot or anything, but we have done a few events, and oftentimes it's just not necessarily running, but I do like to, after you eat and you go for a walk or a hike, and it's just like getting out and getting fresh air, and it feels good and it's nice to be together. It's nice.
Nice to have not any snow
Yeah.
while you're walking.
Yeah, yeah, I've had some like when family comes for Thanksgiving, Christmas holiday, I celebrate Christmas. I've had my goddaughters, so I have the two kids, and then I also have two 24, 25-year-old goddaughters that are like super close with us. So they're often with us for all our holidays, thankfully. And so when they all descend on the house, one is a runner, so she's usually a little easier to twist. The other is an athletic trainer, so she's athletically inclined but doesn't really love running. But she has run, like when she came home with us, we would run around the neighborhood. Big kid would ride bike, little kid would probably be in the stroller, but we've done that. I've done a few races with my son, and actually earlier this year, I think since we last talked, I did a local race and they had a kids dash and both kids did that. And so that was really cool for them to start emerging into races a little bit. It was funny because my daughter, she'll be 4 in a couple months. She doesn't necessarily love mascots of any sort. And so the one local mascot was there and she wasn't having it. So Big Brother was to the rescue and stuck by her side the whole time. And it was just really fun to watch them do their little race before my race. So I would say that would be a good memory for me. Hopefully it expands. I think the little one's going to be the runner. My son does like all sorts of sports. Baseball's his primary, but doesn't necessarily love running. He's doing it with me for conditioning, but that's not his joy. Little likes to run, so I think we'll have her.
Running is hard. Like people don't realize it, especially if you're a new runner. Then it's like we have all been through that, and it's like it
Yeah.
sucks. And into this theme, right? So let's say if holidays were the Strava segments that we have, so what would it be called? And what would be your average
Oh
pace?
man. What would my strongest segment be? I would probably just be base pace because I feel like the majority of my runs are just a run. I was looking at my Strava data and it says about 73% of my runs are just a run. Nothing fast, nothing long necessarily. So I'll go with base pace, a pretty boring answer.
I would say I always appreciate a really good frolic on the trails. So that's my favorite segment or route on Strava. And then, yeah, so that's usually pretty fun. And then just slow miles. It's fun to just get out there, and I did my long run. And I wasn't really tracking how fast I was going or anything, just I feel. And then I looked back later and it was literally the whole run was in like warm up heart rate zone. And I was like, oh, maybe I should have been pushing a little bit more than that, but it's fine. I got the miles in.
That is how my runs are too. I really go past when I'm doing the long run. Then it's always, if I look at my Strava, then it's always at the first column and it says, "You didn't try. You were in low endurance mode or something more." And with holidays, right? So one of the biggest problem I've faced is we eat a lot, and especially Thanksgiving is coming, and oh my God, it's so many turkeys, mashed potatoes, and a lot of other things. So what is harder, surviving a tempo run or surviving family dinner questions along that line?
I would say, I don't know, most of my family is pretty chill. The questions aren't too tricky, and for better or for worse, I guess maybe we don't really get into those super controversial, get people riled up kind of questions. But so there's something to be said about that. Sometimes maybe it's better to actually express your opinions and your way of thinking. And then understand and listen to other people and realize that it's okay. It's nice to know that somebody else has a different perspective, because like we're all different and we come from our own circumstances. But and then in terms of a tempo run, I think I'd probably kind of, if it came to a Thanksgiving conversation or going for a tempo run, the tempo run's pretty high up there. As much as I do love hanging out with family, but maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, we don't really have so our Thanksgiving dinner is usually pretty small for the most part, so there's not often very anything crazy in the conversation world that's happening. Maybe fortunately, um, when it comes to tempo runs, I think I might take the meal actually. I try to be fast, but no, those base pace miles just feel so nice, and I need more speed probably in my life, but I also really like a good turkey. My wife and I have been cooking for the families for, gosh, I don't know, since we moved into our house. So I would say I really like food, so I'll say I would take that over the tempo run.
Same, same, same.
It is tricky. I'm like, it's too much calories. I need to lose weight. I cannot eat all of that food.
It only happens once a year, Ash. You're allowed to have a cheat month or three.
One thing though, when I was in the US, right? So when you come into the American holidays, like Thanksgiving used to be pretty big, and once you move out of US, then it's like dead silence, and I'm like, it's Thanksgiving, and everybody's like, it's no, not a lot of buzz or anything here. So that has been the strangest thing is living in the US, and there used to be so much buzz around Halloween, like so much of decoration and everything, and around Thanksgiving too. But here, it's like quiet.
Except for I'm sure they have probably culturally their own like celebrations. Are there any? I'm gonna ask you, are there any celebrations that you like enjoyed that they
Oktoberfest.
like?
The only thing I have noticed is, oh, that
That's all I know.
Yeah.
Oct- that is Oktoberfest. I have not gone yet. That would be good. The other thing I've noticed is there is a like Christmas market.
Oh,
They always have this Christmas market. So yeah, it's already started. So they have this small place where they put on lot of sausages and glue wine. I think that is the probably the cultural thing is probably I would say that it's once you drink that and it makes you so warmed up. So I think that's why it's very popular in especially there is already some Christmas market. I've seen it today too. So they started it. So I think up until the Christmas, I think that would be the huge thing is to eat sausages, just walk around. I think there would be so much Christmas market you can go and enjoy it. Different things, you'll see a lot of different things. I would say if you have not seen one, then I would recommend. It's pretty famous.
that's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
And also, as we were talking about Thanksgiving, is we celebrate it because we are thankful for something. So as we are coming to the end of this year, right? So only a month left. What has this one thing that running has taught you that you are thankful for? It doesn't have to be just running everything. So what has been that one thing?
I'll jump in and give you a second to think, Val, if that's okay. So I've actually come up short this year. My big goal in March, I think when we chatted, was to try to get that new PR in the half marathon. I'm in spitting distance, but I came up short in both my efforts at it. And in a way, I'm actually happy it happened a little bit, um, particularly as the resident run streaker in the group here. A lot of the miles can feel like, okay, I'm gonna run again. But like when you have something to strive for, I think that's really helpful in trying to keep you focused. So failing, I guess, is what I'm thankful for at the moment, which probably seems weird to say, but I think in a way there's a reason I'm coming up not quite there yet.
But I wouldn't say that as a failing though. I think it's something to improve. You were pretty wicked fast though. It's not that you said, I'm gonna run by something and you missed by 20, 30 minutes. You just meet by couple of
48
minutes,
seconds,
as
yep.
I remember it. So yeah. So that is, yeah, I wouldn't call that a failure. I think that's a very good run.
Thank
The
you.
wicked fast. I can never do that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you,
I
Val?
feel like for me, I don't really I've learned to not, like I don't know how to explain this, but, like, with my goals and the things that I'm working toward, especially, like, at the beginning of the year, I don't really like to, like, be like, "This is what I'm gonna do," and this is instead, I just start living my life, and as ideas pop into my brain, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. I'll try doing that. Maybe I can continue," or so I feel like that is has been something that I've slowly enjoyed doing more over the years of I don't know, in my mind, I think about it as I don't like to sneak up on my goals. I like my goals to come to me. And but I guess in terms of being, like, grateful for that and, like, things this year, I've been grateful for just, like, putting myself out there a little bit more in terms of running and also just I don't know being really consistent and like in some ways what Bobby was saying I like being grateful for where I'm at in the moment if that makes sense like being more present of yes these are things that I'm working for but small wins along the way and like it's okay if I don't get exactly where I maybe thought I would be or a goal that I had but it's still been valuable and I still get enjoyment from the like little steps all along the way. And so I think that's something that I've been grateful for learning this year and I've just been working on. Yeah.
Yeah, that is great. I think for me, this year has been eye-opening in some ways, and I'm thankful that I started this podcast. Val, you were the first person I ever talked to,
Oh.
so it was in February, right? Yeah, we. So I think I'm thankful because talking to all of you and listening to all the wonderful stories, like and the story about resilience, perseverance, and going through and not quitting. I think that has taught me that I can do more and I can try for more. I think that is the word because I've learned that growth happens when you get out of your comfort zone, like Milton said. So that's why I did started into this ultra journey. So I think after talking to all of you, then I think you all inspired me to try for the things that I'm very uncomfortable at. So I think I'm thankful for all of you to show me this way where you can try, fail, but then still can keep continue because the failure is just the stepping stone for the success you can have in the future. So I think that is I'm Failing for all the awesome conversation. I think there has been 68 conversations so far, so it has been really nice and awesome to talk to all of you.
I have to just say to that that I think that is so true. And I feel like I have a tendency to be a little anxious and not really want to get out of my comfort zone at all. Like, I, I love my routines. I love like everything staying exactly the same. Like I get sick of driving home the same way every day. I'm like, no, that is like where life is, doing the exact same thing over and over again. And so I appreciate that that's a lesson that you learned in terms of that, like, when we do get out of our comfort zone, whether that's taking on something in life that we are a little overwhelmed on in terms of running or just in life, that like growth is on the other side of that. And the growth is like so satisfying to be like, wait, I did that. And I feel in terms of running, like that, I love running because in some ways it's like a safe place to explore that. Of I can say, you know what, I think I can do this and pump myself up and then go out and try. And if I don't make it, like, that's fine. But like, it's the work all along the way that like can actually bring you joy. And then also just the growth that you receive from doing something that scares you. Like that the more we do that, the braver we become, which I don't really care to be that brave, but it's probably good for me.
And in that note, so first of all, yes, I think we are some, for me, I think when I thought of doing the ultras, and I think the first immediate question was, what if I failed, especially coming out of the Berlin Marathon, and I didn't do well in the like back at ultra too. So my first immediate thought was, how am I gonna do it? Because it's 4 marathons, you have to run 4 marathons. So that's a heck of a lot of mile than I have ever thought I could ever dream of doing it. And I think we have this tendency to doubt ourselves. And I think that has always been me because I was never a runner and I used to be big, I used to be fat. So it has always been in me that I cannot do hard things. So especially when I was running the Berlin Marathon too, when I was like after 25 kilometers, I was like dizzy and stuff, and I was like, oh God, I don't think I can run anymore. And then the back at ultra was like kind of added more onto that. Can I do it? Will I be able to finish it? Can I take this journey and just do it? So the doubt is so much right here, right now. So I think I can understand how you feel. I think it's us. I think that limits us in a way because we like the comfort. It's so nice. It's like this warm, cozy space that we have. We like to stay on it. And yeah, but sometimes I think we have to take a step and to see how it feels.
Yeah, if I could
Yeah.
piggyback off that a little bit, one of the things I think I try my best to preach to my kids because I feel like they've got a whole life ahead of them is, I think it wholeheartedly applies to running, but also to life, is trying to be uncomfortable while you're uncomfortable. And my son loves baseball. That's his sport right now that he is his primary. And baseball, you fail so often that you just can't get discouraged. But think of us in our running, your ultras, Ash, and your runs, Val. There were so many times where like it just doesn't feel good or doesn't feel right, and I feel like everyone can be their own worst enemy at times. That you think, oh wow, my knee hurts, and or I have side stitch from running, or I don't know, like whatever it is, there are all these things that you can very quickly derail your progress or your ability by getting in your own head. And I think working on the mental side is so important. I'm definitely a big believer in certainly you have to have a physical ability to do things, but I feel like the area for you to really excel is the mental side of believing in yourself. And if things start getting challenging, like just try to push through it. Just, I got this. And I think it's a super hard thing to take that approach to things, um, running and life, where there's any sort of adversity facing you. But I think it's so important to try to attack your goals and your efforts and whatever's before you and just believing in yourself and believing in your ability, believing in the training you put into things, your practice, whatever it is. I think that's the lesson that people need with them is things will be hard, especially running any distance. I sometimes feel like a 5K is harder than a half marathon or a marathon just because of the level of effort that a lot of people are putting forth. But, whatever it is, running or not, just keep moving forward.
And the question I was going to ask is, in this topic, getting out of your comfort zone and things that makes you scared, is there anything that when you think about any runs or any distance or anything that scares you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I feel for me, like, just when the miles start getting longer and longer, that's always in your training plan. That's always a little scary. It's okay, I need to run 18 miles today. That's a long way to go. And even if you've done it before, it's not easy. I don't think running long runs like that is easy for anyone, no matter what your fitness is. And like what Bobby said, like it's a lot of like mental strength of just being like, you know what, it is a little scary, but I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do it. And then also for me, I am really not great with like logistics. And so signing up for races and like having to handle parking and like being there on time, waking up super early and like making sure I'm where I need to be is always like something that really stresses me out. So those are aspects of running that are scary for me. I feel like another thing is as much as I do love going out on trails all by myself, like I am out there all by myself and like something could happen and I have my phone and everything, but there is a little bit of fear that I overcome just to go out there. I know that a lot of other women have a fear of I don't usually run at night, so that's not something that I have to get over, but if you're in a neighborhood that's not necessarily safe, and this is women and men, but I feel like women because we're smaller, it's a little scarier. And so those there's a lot of fears I feel like that in some ways you have to overcome if you sign up for a race that feels really scary and challenging, then that's scary. And the more you face that fear though, the more you feel that growth on the other side. And I think it's so true, like what Bobby was saying, in terms of that fear can come from different places for everybody. And running a 5K that is expected to be a fast 5K is totally scary for me. Like, you're supposed to be like, not all of them. If it's just like a fun 5K, then that's like fine. But like the intensity is higher. Whereas if you're running a 50K, with a lot of elevation and you're not expected to be able to run as fast. And it's still challenging, but in some ways it's easier. So I feel like everybody has different fears for different things and we all are overcoming that in our own ways. But hopefully, and I've seen this in my life and it's not always easy, but you overcome that and then like how do you feel? You feel amazing. Or even if you don't finish it, you know that you showed up. And I feel like showing up is like worth so much. That is overcoming that fear is to show up on the start line. So that's what I think about it.
Yeah, I would say in terms of running, scary goal, I'd really like to qualify for Boston. And again, like my half marathon goal, I'm close, but I feel like getting over that hump, even though it's like a couple minutes away, like a couple of minutes is over 26 miles is like a pretty profound increase, if at least for me anyway. So that's my scary goal, I guess, for I think you have a future question, but that's kind of something that's scary, but also something that I really want to try to strive towards.
If you look at it now, right? So there are these goals or these things that scares you. So in that note, so if there is thing that you can change now for you to able to get that goal, what would that be?
I'd say more, just more time. Like,
It
obviously, life is life and everyone has their priorities. And just for me, running obviously is an important part of my life, and I enjoy that part of my day every day. But I also enjoy my family. In order to realistically qualify for Boston, I need to invest in time for training. And for me, like the hardest days for me to get long runs in are Saturday and Sunday because that's when the kids and the family are available. And I would just rather not take 4 hours or whatever the block of time is away from that potentially. So just trying to find ways to be creative of meeting what I need to from a training side, but also not missing out because kids are only in your life for a short period of time. So I'd rather not waste those moments personally. That's more important. So I would say I just need like a 28-hour clock or something.
Yeah, I love that you went into that, like, balancing, like, family and training, and I feel like definitely something that I guess in some ways it's the idea of being able to, like you said, be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I feel like weirdly for me that is like something that I've needed to balance with my family and like training is that like I've switched my training up so that how I run and I work out and whatever I need to do. Like my goal this year was to be able to run a marathon pretty much year round. Like anytime I wanted to, I could sign up for a marathon. That was my big goal for this year. It turned into, but if I'm so stressed out about, oh, I need to get my miles in, I need to be doing this, I need to just like that rigidity, then that affects me and how I show up for my family. And so like being comfortable with it's okay if you miss a run. And it's okay if you maybe don't run as much as other people, but you make it work for you. Like it's okay to tailor your training to work for your life. And what works for you is not necessarily going to be what someone else is going to need. And so I guess for me, that's been something that's helped me is just learning what can work for me the most so that I can maintain that balance and I can show up for my kids. Like, I can't do a 20-mile run and then crash and sleep for a day. That's not a possibility. So, I've had to learn how to go run 20 miles and take a shower, and the kids get home, and I'm on. I'm ready to go. I can't. And that's, yeah, that's just been for me what it's been.
I think I've been watching you guys do this thing you do all the year, round the clock, and you are so consistent. And I think, and that is for me is the biggest thing when I look at myself. So I feel like I could have been more consistent. You like Val, you go, you bike, you swim, you run. You did 20 miles the other day. I think I was looking at it and I was like, what? You want to do 20 miles? And Bobby is just like running every day for, I mean, we talked in March or somewhere, so right? So he's been running every month, every day, every month, every 24 hours. So he's doing it and he's doing it and you guys are so consistent. And when I look at myself, then I think that is one thing that where I need to improve is I know I can run. I'm okay running, but the thought of going to the gym and especially now in the winter is like so hard. Like it's very difficult for me to set my mind. But I know I need to do it, which I will do. I only say that I'm gonna do it, but it never happens. But yeah, that is I like this thing about you guys is you guys are so awesome and committed to do this thing, and that is I'm jealous. I wish I can be like you guys, but yeah, I know we all are different, and I think that is one thing I need to nail down. So something to work on for next year. So putting it out there, like making commitments and moving along. So as we are today's theme is we're just talking about holidays and stuff. So if you run a race and there is a costume, And if the costume is supposed to be a holiday race outfit, what would that be?
So our local Fleet Feet has a run in December, and they actually pass out Santa suits, and then everyone runs around the city here in Santa suits. So I've done that the last couple of years. It's really enjoyable, and it's just nice to see people's reactions to that of the holiday spirit. So I'm already signed up. My goddaughter's joining me for that, and I'm just looking forward to doing that one again personally.
How fun is that? Or is it how I have never worn a costume. I think last time we talked about something like that. And you said you did run a costume, and I asked you like, how hard does it be? So I don't know. How
I
is
think it
Santa
depends
costume?
on how layered you are underneath. I don't, it's not like a super thick suit, thankfully. If you're gonna layer up, it could be warm, but I'm usually a shorts kind of guy anyway, so I'm not too bad. But yeah, it's a full like pants, like jacket, hat, so they give you a beard, like one of those little ones you wear around your, your face, but it's fun.
They do that race, that
That
kind of a
work?
race here too, and that's been fun. My husband and I have been along with a whole crowd of Santas going around. It's more of a stroll. I guess they call it a Santa stroll, but it's fun. I would say I'm always impressed when people do wear elaborate costumes and run like full marathons and even further. And I don't know, mine has to be simple. Running is hard enough on its own. It needs to work and be easy. Yeah, but yeah, Santa's definitely fun.
Thanksgiving is next week, so the turkey trot is so famous, and I think that was one of the races I usually did a lot while I was in US. So now, if you had this chance to go and rename turkey trot, what would be your version be called?
I don't know. It's pretty hard to pick something that is already pretty great. Like turkey trot, you have the both the T's and
Yeah,
you're running around. I don't think I could pick something better than the turkey trot.
me either. Gobbler goes.
Yeah. I also don't know. I also don't have any answers to that. Okay, now Santa is coming next, and right now he's running an ultra. So if he is in an aid station, what snacks would he be taking on?
Well, I feel like this is an easy one. Milk and cookies, that's perfect ultra food.
Yeah, I feel like I don't think I could top that either. That's got to be the answer. Chocolate, hopefully chocolate chip if it's for me. It's my strong preference, but chocolate milk too if I could make a special request.
Do you dip your chocolate chip
Yeah.
cookies
Uh,
in chocolate milk?
I do. White milk, the regular milk is fine too, but if I could have my way, chocolate on chocolate with
Yeah,
extra chocolate
I
syrup maybe
mean,
too.
all in.
Yeah,
Triple chocolate thread.
that's right.
have you tried blending
It's
everything
called a
together and drink
milkshake, and
it
yes.
too? Does it? Is it?
You can add some chocolate ice cream too.
That's true.
Yes. Oh yeah, that sounds good for holidays and
Hmm.
ultra too, like Val said. And looking back, right? So let's say you're running a race in Thanksgiving, turkey trot or some other race, and then you can dedicate this run to a person or a memory that can be this year, last year, or wherever it has happened. What would it be?
I would say I'll start first. I would say for me, I would do my father-in-law. He passed away a couple of years ago. It's getting longer and longer, unfortunately, but a super awesome man. Obviously, the father to my wife instilled a lot of greatness. His birthday's in November as well, so it's always like a tough time. Any way that I can honor his legacy and inspire our kids with memories of him would be really good for me.
Yeah, I feel like every single run that I go on, for me, it's kind of just my family, my husband, and my kids. And as much as I'm leaving them, they're always in my heart. And I hope that they know and feel like that's something that they can do, is take time for themselves and be able to take care of themselves physically. And that's something that I think is important for everyone, and it's not something that's selfish, and it's needed. And so I just would dedicate that to my kids. And then along with that, it is fun periodically to be a fly on the wall and hear my 13-year-old son tell his other friends, like, oh yeah, my mom runs marathons. It's like, oh, he, he like actually cares when they're like, mom. Yeah, just that.
Yeah. My son is, but
Okay.
it's funny. Oh yeah, my friends think it's so cool that you run all the time and you run so much and so far. So I'm like, all right, I'll take it. I know pretty soon I'll be the cringe parent. It's inevitable, but at least there's something for a period of time where I was almost admirable.
It is nice too, though. Sometimes when you get the compliments from your kids, it's, oh, you do that? Yeah, oh, yeah, that feels nice. Okay, so before we go, Christmas is coming, and that means gifts. So this will be the last question and the closest statement. So you open this box in the Christmas day, what would be inside it, and what would be the perfect gift for you? Could be running related.
For me, of course, shoes are always on the list, but I really appreciate some high quality fuel too, like gels and things. And I feel like I'm always like, oh man, I forgot to order some. I need to like get it or something. But yeah, so I guess running fuel.
I like that. I would say a race entry, like someone could pick the race or whatever, but I just think I've got a lot of stuff. I don't want stuff to be honest, but I think if someone like took the time and thought, "Oh, I signed you up for this race," and then they explained why, that would be so meaningful. Um, for me, I think that'd be really cool.
That might be dangerous too, though, Bobby.
I'm
But
down.
if they signed you
Anything.
for,
Let's
okay,
do it.
cool. Then, oh,
Miles.
awesome. So now, yes,
You
yeah,
sign me up, I'll do
exactly.
it. I won't waste your money.
Okay,
So,
that would be
your
awesome.
listeners, Ash, are feeling generous. I'm committing to anything that someone is willing to sign me up for, I will do it.
Just
I'll
put that
make it
on your
happen.
Instagram page. Like your
Exactly.
whole page will
Take a
turn into sign me
yeah.
up for things.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do it. Maybe a year of like weird, like just
Hey, you never
be
know.
on for
You never
something.
know, Bobby. You just, yeah. Okay, let's do it. Okay, it's gonna be awesome. So any distance you're down, how long do you need
I don't
to
know.
train for it?
I'll show up. I'm usually a just wing it kind of guy, so it may not be pretty, but I'd give it an honest effort.
I think 50 mile would be a
Okay.
perfect choice
I
for you
did.
to just wing it because
Yeah, I
100 might
did.
be a little bit.
I
It,
did two this year, so it's only eight more.
but yeah, so
Sure.
50
That's
would be
all.
good.
Only 8 more.
Right, if you want me to. I might need to train a little more than, but
Yeah, 100
I'm
might
sure I
be
could
a
do it.
little bit too much. I don't want you to be injured. But 50, I
Sure,
think we got it.
let's do it. Find that free
Okay,
entry though.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. So I'm gonna look for a 50-mile race and see where it is. How far does it have to
I don't
be?
know. That we'd have to figure that out, the logistics part, but
Okay. All right, Val, it's gonna happen. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's the final question. So here it is. Some gels for Val and then some
I
race for Bobby. There
love
we
it.
go.
What about you? What are we
He's
getting you?
laughing. Oh, that is a very hard question. Whenever somebody asks me, what do you want? And it's shoes. Yeah, like Val said, some shoe would be really nice. Yeah. New Balance 800,
880s. There you go.
880,
Yeah,
880.
good
80s.
choice.
I had those shoes.
Yeah. I think that is. I try to wear some of those shoes, but I get issues even if I wear the neutral other shoes and wear that. But that has been working. I did my ultra in that, and I think I did one, and I wore that for 1,000 kilometers, and I've never wore any shoes for 1,000 kilometers. I think I learned that from James. He said he wears his shoes for 3,000 kilometers. And then when I told him I only wear for 600, he says, "You are spoiled." So now I wear it for a
There you
thousand
go.
at least. All right, so this was really nice conversation, and it was nice to talk to you guys and catch up on things. And so yeah, thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
time. And I know it's still afternoon in you guys. So hope you have good rest of the day.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you,
And
Ash.
happy holidays, guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, happy holidays and see
Sounds
you next
good.
time. So
Okay. Thanks.
good.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye. Hey everyone, thank you for making it to the end of the podcast. I hope you really enjoyed this conversation. I'll see you again next time with another guest. Until then, happy running.